guys, I'm here with Sarah. She's back again.
Yeah, Shady's back.
On the same day because we're wearing the same clothes.
Yeah. Don't mind, please. This isn't a different day. We don't just, wear the same clothes 2 days in a row.
No.
Nah, jokes, I do that all the time.
I do that. I'm like, I don't have enough clothes in my closet to like change out. Anyways.
So I'm doing an arts degree now, majoring in Chinese and literature and minoring in Italian.
What do you want to become at the end of all this?
Oh, honestly, I'm not too sure yet. I'm thinking either after this degree I'll do like a master's in teaching, so tutoring like fits nicely with that.
Yeah.
Or maybe just like study something different altogether, just to like, I guess, broaden my horizons a bit.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
I think it's like great that you're doing something that interests you and not necessarily having a goal at the end, like specifically with that course, if that makes sense. It's very refreshing. Yeah,
there's no point for me personally doing something I don't enjoy, because then I won't really put in the effort, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess on this channel we've talked a lot with tutors about their VCE experiences, and so Sarah and I thought that maybe to introduce something a little bit different, we could talk about your university experiences.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of you will be finishing up year 12 this year and heading into that next chapter of your life. So we don't really hear often, I would say, that much about university experiences.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can shed some light today on that. So I guess when you were in VCE, what was your expectation of what uni would be like? Or even after you finished VCE, about to head into uni?
Well, honestly, I wasn't entirely sure what to expect, because it was just like completely different to high school. Like in year 12, you kind of just have this singular view of like, okay, so my life revolves around studying. But like going into uni, I was like, okay, is it still that way? Like, do I still have to put in all the effort I put in year 12? Is it that stressful?
Yeah.
So like the first year of uni for me was kind of like a little bit stressful, just because I wasn't really sure what the expectations were in terms of academic performance. But I later realized that it's a lot more lax in uni. They understand that, your life doesn't revolve around studying, and that you have other aspects, so like work, friends, hobbies, all that kind of stuff.
When you said that you weren't too sure how well you were expected to do at uni, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Right, yeah. Well, for example, in year 12, depends what school you go to, but for example, the school I went to was very intense upon like how well we do academically. I remember like the end of the year, in the few weeks leading up to exams, our principal was like, okay, so you guys should be doing 9 hours of study a day. So I'm like,
whoa.
Not happening.
Not happening.
Not today.
Yeah.
But and then when you get to uni, they're kind of just like, do whatever you want. Like if you want to do well, then do well. If you don't want to do well, that's up to you.
Sure.
So it's not like they're pushing you. It's all very autonomous. It's a little fun.
I know that you did quite well in VCE, so that makes me think that you probably did invest a lot of time in your studies, although not 9 hours. Like still treated it as something serious during VCE. So when you went into university, like, did you still sort of have that same concept of, okay, this is how many hours I should work, or this is the score I should be getting?
Yeah, for sure. Like, because I had that year 12 mindset still, like in my first year of uni, I put in a lot of work, I feel like, but then at the same time, it was just like too much, because I wasn't really trying to balance every other aspect of my life. So then obviously I wasn't really enjoying it, and I wasn't really trying to make friends in uni. I was just like going with the flow. But I feel like having friends in uni is really important, because you can't just really enjoy it if you don't have a support system, if that makes sense. So first year of uni, I didn't really enjoy it that much. But then second year, I realized, okay, so I don't really need to just focus on studying. Like, I've got all these other important things going on. But then it's actually a lot harder in uni to get really good scores, because, for example, I'm not sure if it's the same with every uni, but like with the uni I go to, so Monash, it's like 80 to 100 is HD. But even then it's hard to get a HD. And then I think it's like 70 to 79 is D, and then so on and so forth. So like credit, and then pass, and and then fail.
Yeah. I actually found the same thing at my uni. So
really?
I went to Monash as well.
Oh yeah.
And it was also very hard for me to get above 80.
Like you think it would be easy, but it's actually not, because I feel like, you're trying to balance everything else.
I guess for somebody who's a high achiever, and I guess not to sound like pompous or anything, but I guess it's like having that 4 in your grades, which is expected, because my understanding of it, and I could be completely wrong, is that once you get into your course, like there's a certain standard of students that get into that course, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you're competing with people who are sort of like on your level. I don't know if that's true for art.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, arts is a lot, like I feel like there's so many people who do arts, so you get like a wide range of people, and then there's all these different subjects within it. But actually I feel like, say in year 12, generally speaking, everyone or most people are working really hard, but when you get to uni, there's a lot of people who are also really chill about it as well, and would just rather like enjoy their uni experience, like going to uni parties and all that kind of stuff, rather than focusing solely on their studies. Yes.
And that's, I think, also because, in case you don't know, in uni there's pretty much just like a pass or fail. For us anyway, it was like at 50 or something. Like if you get 50 and above, it kind of doesn't really matter how well you do. You've just passed. And that's good enough.
Like, I don't know if you guys have heard the saying, but it's like P's get degrees. So it's like literally like on your diploma, whatever it is, the certificate of graduation. Graduation certificate?
I don't know.
The certificate you get once you graduate, it doesn't like say your scores or anything, it's just like, okay, well, you passed.
You passed, like you done it. So I guess that kind of ties in with what you're saying, like you can decide how well you want to do it and how much effort you want to put in.
Exactly.
Because as long as you do get that P, which is above a certain amount, whether that's 50, I think it's different for different degrees,
I think it is actually,
then like you're good, you get your degree at the end of it. So is that something that took you a bit of time to understand and come around to?
Like even now I'm still a bit somewhat of a high achiever, so if I don't get a grade that I'm necessarily satisfied with, even if I still pass, I still feel like, oh, I could have done better. But at the same time, I'm more easy on myself now. Like I understand it's not the end of the world. Like as long as you pass, as long as you're doing what you can and juggling other aspects of your life, then that's the most important thing. Actually, mental health is the most important thing. For sure.
Oh, absolutely. I'm very big on that. That's a whole
that's another umbrella. We'll get into
we might touch on that some other time. See you later. Okay, and so you were saying how after a while you realized that, you know, prioritizing friends and other aspects of your life was just as important, if not more, to make your whole university experience better. What did you mean by that? Like, how do they all come together?
Okay, well, I guess, say for example, if you are just focusing on your studies and nothing else, then bringing back that mental health thing, it's not necessarily the best thing for your mental health, because then you're not like accounting for friends, exercise, family, anything of that kind of nature. So then I think it's important to have that balance, because for me, like before I started exercising, because like during year 12 and first year of uni, I didn't really prioritize that. I found that I was so much happier, like even though I had to take time out of studying, obviously, you know, endorphins with exercise, like it's definitely a thing. Like you feel like so much lighter after it and like a lot less stressed. And then same goes with friends, because if you don't have a support system, then who are you going to talk to when you need someone to talk to about like whatever's going on in your mind, whatever you're stressing about. Say like the other thing with friends as well, like say if you make friends in uni, also like if you miss a class for whatever reason, you also have them to like be like, oh hey, what did I miss out on? But obviously don't just use them for that, like
No, that is not the advice today. I guess like when you head into uni, it's the uni experience is more than just the actual study itself.
Exactly.
Uni, it's like it's my adulthood that I'm coming into. Exactly. It's all the parties I'm gonna do, you know, it's all the friends that I'm gonna make, maybe like my first real job or part-time job, or maybe my next job. Like there's just so many changes.
Actually on the job thing, tutoring was my first job, and I got that partway through first year uni.
How did that tie in with your uni?
Well, it was a little bit of a jump because I didn't have a job before then, but I definitely felt like it was better to have that rather than just uni. I guess it kind of teaches you when you have a job to balance your time better. Yeah, which is really important, I think. Because if you're not balancing your time, then you kind of have moments when you're like, well, how else could I have used my time? You don't want to feel like you're wasting your time, basically.
Yeah. Like, I guess it's good to be busy, but not
not
like, busy for busy's sake.
Yeah, like being productive.
Productive.
Yeah,
that's the word I was looking for.
Like sometimes there's days, like, you know, when you just want to have a relaxing day, but then at the end of it you're like, oh, I didn't really do anything.
Yes.
And then you feel bad about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you feel lethargic, actually.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
It's like you don't even like do anything, but you feel tired anyway.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's like, why? I didn't ask for this.
Yeah. You might as well do something.
Yeah.
For it. If you can pin it down, what's your favourite uni experience so far?
Oh, I feel like probably, making friends, honestly. Like, you meet so many different people at uni. Like, compared to high school, I feel like the school you go to and the year level you're in, a lot of the people are pretty similar in terms of, like, background and that kind of stuff. But when you get to uni, you meet, like, all different kinds of people. And it's, like, really refreshing, I think. Yeah, so I've made, like, some pretty close friends throughout my uni experience. And then not only that, like, you get to go to parties. I've only been to, like, 1 or 2, I'm not gonna lie. But like, I went to like an end of exams party, which is pretty fun because it's just kind of refreshing, you know, once you're finished with the exams, to just go out and have a bit of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. How was first year compared to second year?
Right, yeah. So first year, I'd say felt a bit more full on, just because, like what I was saying, with not really knowing what the expectations were, like, should I be doing well, should I just chill out a bit?
Yeah.
And then I also didn't have many friends because I didn't really try to, I guess. I found that in a lot of my classes, it was because, like, most people in those classes were also first year, so a lot of people are pretty nervous to try and talk to each other, and it makes, like, the atmosphere in the classroom really awkward. It's like, you know, when the teacher asks the class a question and no one answers, and it's like really, like, it's a really unfavorable atmosphere to be in.
Interesting.
Yeah, because it's just like, I don't know, it feels like really tense. Like, you can feel the teacher just being like, oh my god, can someone just please answer the question?
Yeah.
And then, like, everyone is just too shy to talk to each other. So it's hard to, you know, really engage with the class. And then if the teacher does ask you a question, you feel a bit too scared to answer because everyone else is kind of quiet.
Yes.
Yeah. So then second year, felt that in general people are a bit more out there in classes because everyone's a bit more comfortable with uni at that point. Obviously, I discovered that it's important to have that balance and exercise and, you know, socialize a bit more. And because of that, I felt like I was happier. So then if you're happier, then that also kind of helps your studies, because if you're in a better mindset, then you can focus more, if that makes sense.
I think my uni experience was sort of similar in that the first year I kind of wasn't really sure what I was doing.
It's very different because it's just like from year 12 where you know everyone, and then you go to uni, it's like, who are you people?
Yeah, there's so many new people as well.
Yeah.
Most uni courses, I think you don't necessarily have the same people in all your classes.
Yeah, that as well.
That's another variable to put in there, and I guess even more friends for you to make. Has there been anything that's happened in uni that you didn't expect?
Oh, maybe more so in terms of, like, the grades again. Some units or assignments, for example, I thought I did better in them, but it turns out it wasn't as good as I expected. But that's just because, the expectations are completely different to high school. For example, in, like, year 12 essays for English, they're always like, oh, never use first person, all that kind of stuff. And then in uni, they're like, oh yeah, you can use first person, you probably should use first person. I'm like, what's it gonna be?
I remember that,
Yeah, it was so weird for me. I'm just like, well, you taught us all this in high school and now you're saying that's not it.
Yeah. Many things need to be unlearned.
Yeah. And I feel like as well, uni teaches you to be more, I guess, autonomous and, like, more mindful of the time you have, whereas high school is just like, studies.
I guess it's like in year 12, it's kind of like a wormhole. Like, you're just like in there, and studies is like your life.
Literally, it's like the only thing, and it's like, that's not it. That's not the way to live your life.
Absolutely. I do think that uni teaches you a lot about that. It's very...
And actually the teachers are very chill as well. It's easy to sort of just relate with them. Whereas high school, it's kind of like a very professional relationship, I think.
Sure. Do you have any advice for the students listening just about heading into uni or their attitudes towards uni?
So I think that it's definitely important to try not be shy, because if you are, then it's harder to make friends, it's harder to ask your tutors and lecturers questions. And honestly, like, everyone at like uni is really chill, and if you're in first year, everyone's in the same boat, so everyone's a little bit freaked out. So it's like everyone's gonna understand where you're coming from, so you don't have to worry about that. And I also think it's important to have a morning and a night routine, which kind of sounds like a bit, oh, where are we going here?
Yeah.
But
sidetrack. No.
Yeah. No, but like, honestly, I feel like that has helped, or it can help a lot with trying to organize your time. And I think it just makes you a bit more relaxed, honestly. Like, in the morning, if you just wake up a bit earlier than you normally would, just to sort of like meditate, go for a walk, really enjoy your breakfast, because I feel like a lot of people don't eat breakfast. They don't have the time for it. But if you just wake up a bit earlier, I feel like you can really enjoy the morning. And I found that the morning is easier to be more productive in, because it's just like, it feels like everyone else is asleep. So now you have this extra time ahead of everyone else to like sort of do your own thing, be in your own space.
Yes.
Yeah. And then like with night routine, I think it's good to sort of establish one so that when you do go to bed, you're already like relaxed and you're tired and sleepy, and you know, you're just ready to hit the sleeps. I think getting off technology about half an hour before bed is definitely useful, because that way your brain isn't like buzzing like, oh, what's new in social media? Yeah, or like even having a shower or bath before bed, I feel like is useful to help you get like a really good night's sleep. Yeah, because like in year 12, I didn't do any of that. And I remember during like the oral exam period, if you do languages, I was so stressed out. I was like averaging, I think for a week, like 4 hours of sleep, because I didn't have a routine. I was just stressed out. So I learned in uni that it's important to have routine.
Yeah, right. And I guess like for the students watching this, if they're in year 12 or younger, like that's relevant to you now.
To
establish those good routines, especially during VCE when it can be quite stressful.
I mean, like, leave some space for spontaneity, because if your routine does happen to run off course, you don't want to like freak out and be like, oh, what do I do now? So but yeah, routine does help.
And then I guess when you set the day right, then it's kind of likely that the rest of your day will also go well.
Exactly. And like if you just like plan out your goals in the morning or the night before, then it does help you to stay on track with what you want to accomplish. And
I guess it ties in with everything you were saying about how at uni there's all these other things you're managing, like work, social life, what family, whatever else, exercise. So
don't forget about that.
That's it. So then like putting all that together, like you gotta have some sort of structure to it. Not necessarily the most structured thing where there's no spontaneity, but a system that works for you. Timetable.
But don't like set unrealistic expectations for yourself either, because then you're always just going to end up disappointed. If you are like, you know, goal setting, then make sure they're achievable within the time period you give yourself. So if you set daily goals, make sure you're not just like writing out a list of like 50 different things to do. Like
when I do my daily goals, I only put maximum 3 big things.
And then that way, if you do manage to accomplish more, you feel even better about yourself.
That's true. That's so true. Thank you so much for sharing with us your uni experience. I think it's really enlightening to have an actual person in uni sort of share their experiences. If you liked what Sarah had to say, or if you've got any questions, then please feel free to write them down in the comment section below. We'd love to sort of learn more about what you guys are curious about. That way we could maybe answer them in future videos.
I think that'd be really fun.
It'd be great to have you back.
Thank you. It'd be great to be back on it. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Alright, see you guys. Bye.